Hello everybody, Midden Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Stormblood. In the last episode, we're dealing with the continuing aftermath of the Imperial attack on Rhalgr's Reach. With the Alliance forces trying to decide what to do next, and, the Resistance basically saying they're in no condition to mount an assault on a Castellum, and they're pretty much about ready to give up, which is understandable considering. But Alphino had an idea that since Xenos, who is both the Viceroy of Alamigo and Doma, is basically trying to manage two provinces on opposite sides of the planet, if we opened up a second front in Doma, it would force him to split his attention and could buy the Alamigan resistance some time they need to recover. So, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be heading over to Doma. So we chartered a ship and started heading out. Well, we chartered the ship through blackmail. And then started heading out towards Doma, but we can't go to Doma directly. We're going to have to go to the port city of Kugane in the nation of Hingashi first, and then we'll have to find a way from there to Doma. So, we were on board the ship. It ran into some trouble, started getting pulled off course. We determined that some force was involved in doing that, attempting to seize the ship. And so we're going to have to run a duty to fight off whatever it is that is pulling the ship off course. But, as you can see, we are not aboard the ship at the moment. We're over here in ISHGARD, because I want to do some stuff here while we are waiting for the dungeon. So, because, through the magic of teleportation, we can basically sit in queue anywhere we want. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Warrior. Hold on. Oh, it's a gap closer. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to go with Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and queue us into the Duty Finder. We're going to see if this pops immediately, which would be really nice. Alright. Well, we're the tank. We're just waiting for a healer and some DPS to show up. Alright. Which is fine. While we're waiting for that, I am going to actually switch over to Dark Knight, because I've been doing some work. I got the Dark Knight up to level 38. So we are now ready for a new Dark Knight job quest from Frey here. And so we'll get to work on that, and, as I think we had happened before, if the dungeon becomes available while we're in the middle of cutscenes or anything like that, it should interrupt, and we'll jump out of the cutscene or dialogue, and then we'll head into there, and if we have to, we'll redo whatever it is we need to redo. Alright. As I was talking. Alright. Let's go ahead and commence, then. And we'll get to that once we're done. Alright, let's make sure I'm in Defiance. sure we get all these banshees in my overpower. Alright, more of them. Alright, try and pick these guys up. It's not exactly going to be easy. Alright, an island dead ahead. Alright, yep, we're gonna go greet our hosts. These things seem to be quite difficult to kill. Well, more so than usual trash. Alright, there we go. Alright, here's our first boss. And I don't quite remember what he specifically does, but we'll figure it out. Oh yeah, he puts an AoE over half the, well, a large portion of the arena there. Simple enough to deal with. Oh, stack up mechanic. Yeah, so you're not going to want to be too far away from the group. Alright, it's going to pull you in. You got to get out of the AoE. go. Nothing too crazy there. Yeah, it seems that primarily his stuff is avoiding the various AoEs. Alright, push away, and then we need to stack up. And then get out of the AoE. He's not facing the rest of the party. Sea Swell is always going to knock us or pull us in. Okay. And then avoid that. Overtow. There we go. And we're gonna do stack up mechanic. Oh, come on, man. You gotta run in. Because you know that's coming. At least you should anyway. I don't need any to loot from here, because I'm already kind of beyond this a little bit. Okay. Looks like Dirty Boy's AFK for a minute. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so this ghost ship out there is going to be firing on us this entire time. Just got to avoid the AoEs. Alright, those guys are down. Albatross and 2 Sea Hawks. drag them off those spots. So the Dragoon doesn't have any issues there. Well, they actually don't last too long, so shouldn't really need to worry about it too much. Let's see. Other stuff I don't need. We're going to pass on all this. So this is the source of all of these AoE attacks that have been coming in. Skin the skippers down. I just gotta get rid of the deckhands. Alright, this boss. He does a lot of stuff with AoEs as well, which we'll see as we go through the fight here. They basically move to the center and put different sections of the arena in darkness, and you gotta just place yourself where there is a bit of a problem. Like that. And then he's gonna spawn some, like, non-targetable ads, which will also create some AoE fields. They'll just make that a little bit more complicated. Oh, and then he puts that tether on someone, pulls them in. Just have to run to the edge to break the tether. Yep, there's those guys. They're going to spread out. Okay. And they create little puddles. So you got to observe the pattern that they're putting themselves in as it happens, and try and get yourself into a position where they're not going to be. Pull that person in, then they're going to have to run that out. There you go. First, and you can just do a unavoidable group-wide AoE. Alright, he's doing his thing again. There's the guys. Alright, let's go over here. that's pretty much the fight. Rinse and repeat. You get these stacks of magic vulnerability up as you get hit by that stuff. So that when that goes off, alright, let's see where this guy's gonna be. Oh, fight's over. Maiming, don't need it, pass. Fending. Don't need it, pass. Already got better stuff than that. Now, in this room, you have to be careful because these rotting captives will come out of the side walls, so if your tank isn't careful and pulls too much too fast, you can get overwhelmed. This room can wipe parties. Oh, you didn't. That's precisely what I was trying to avoid to do. I'm not of the pool giant groups school of tanking. That's primarily because on my main character I play healer most of the time, and I hate it when tanks do that. Because it drives me nuts. Because tank pools in smaller groups, then what I can do is when I'm not needing to heal as much, I can add my own DPS abilities to fight, and we can kill things faster. That's my thinking. Oh, this guy can be potentially dangerous. Pass on the loot. I don't need any of that. is a mechanic here where you need to look away, if I remember correctly. Seductive Scream, yes. Nope, that wasn't it. Pulls everybody in. Oh well, just gotta kill the guy. I forget how you're supposed to deal with that mechanic. Okay. Now this boss, one of the primary things that she does is she will fill the room with AoEs and then force your character to either walk forwards or backwards for a certain distance. And you need to make sure that as that is happening, you get yourself prepared so that you're not going to walk into an AoE. You'll see what I mean as we go. Starts off simple enough. Those AoEs, avoid them. A morbid advance. So there, it's going to force me to walk forwards. Alright. Just want to make sure you're going to walk in a direction that isn't going to lead to a puddle. Her somewhere. Morbid advance. Alright, so I'm going to walk forwards. I want to make sure there's nothing in my way. Morbid retreat. That's going to force me to walk backwards. There's nothing behind me. Good. Oh boy. Now she's adding the outer ring. Morbid advance. Alright, so that direction. And we're probably going to back up a little bit. And then out of the AoE. See, is it going to be advance or retreat? Retreat. Alright, so we want to be stationed right about there. Walking a little bit too far, but it's okay. Alright, position myself here. Advance or retreat? Retreat. I'm gonna put myself right about there. Oh, oh, she's down. Alright, and everybody decided to leave before I could do any commendations or anything. Oh well. Alright, let's see a cutscene.
Thank the 12!
Everything here would appear to be in order. Good. Repairs should be completed by the time we return to the Misery, whereupon we shall resume our journey without further delay.
I swear, if I never hear another ghost story, it will be too soon.
I remember the sea, the smell of the salt, and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugane. The only port open to outsiders in Hingashi, across the Ruby Sea from Othard, from Doma. All the colors of the rainbow, all the peoples of the world, all in one place. I wish you could have seen it.
Alright, so we have arrived in Kugane. Which, this is a really awesome looking city. So, let's talk to Caravalain. Congratulations, you now stand in Kugane, the western port of Hingashi. Regrettably, the only port in this nation open to foreign trade. Oh, and I do apologize for the unforeseen difficulties which befell us during our journey. Needless to say, your assistance in overcoming them was much appreciated. Alright, so I don't believe I really need any of that. I'll grab the materia. Alright, let's have a chat with Alphino. Alright, despite traveling halfway around the world, Alphino is in no mood to take in the sights. Well. Alright, glad though I am to have arrived. I would remind you all that we are far from home, with limited resources at our disposal. Duly noted, brother. I shall take care not to enjoy myself. In any event, Doma is our final destination, and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. Alright, Captain Carvalane, I realize you pledged only to take us as far as Kugane, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Authard were you in our position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a port. Surely there is a kind and generous soul here who will aid you for the right price. You cannot be the first travelers seeking passage to Doma. The captain makes a good point. 'Tis like that Yugiri and Gosetsu were forced to come here for the self-same reasons we were. They must have found a way to Authard, assuming they are not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. Leave it to me, Alphino. Making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in ISHGARD. Captain Carvalane, could you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, are we? We may find one in that large building just beyond the pier. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shiokaze hostelry is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect, or so they say. And with that, my dear scions, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must away. Ours was ever a fast-moving business. The spice trade, you mean? But of course, surely you did not think I traveled halfway around the world and delivered you to your destination solely out of the kindness of my heart? Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain, and may the Navigator watch over and keep you. Right then, to the hostelry. After you.
By the 12. I thought ISHGARD remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugane and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I beg your pardon. If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and one finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Uldan markets. though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing. Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugane is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
Sure, and if he tries anything funny, I have several weapons with which to deal with that. Alright. Well, let's just talk to Hancock here real quick. Alright, and you must be Ayame Yatsurugi, Slayer of Gods, Rider of Dragons, Savior of ISHGARD, Stealer of Pants, if some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. I'm not aware that I have stolen any pants. Alright, I knew it. May I say what an honor and pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, my lady? I just know you and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way, if you would be so good as to follow me. Alright, well, I have some other business that needs to be attended to. Well, my first order of business is going to be hit this Aetheryte, but Hancock's right here. Might as well talk to him, I guess. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You are now standing in Tenkonto. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Aetheryte, which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Charlian, yet I trust its function is identical. A diplomat and a scholar, well, wonders never cease. Far Eastern Aetheryte technologies have a long and storied tradition, I assure you. This particular example was constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attune if you like, which we are going to do. Actually, if we're going to be getting EXP here, I'm going to switch to Samurai. Alright. Hancock will like very much to continue talking. Okay. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at the Aetheryte. Come, come, let us move along. The markets are next. Alright, well. You guys can go off to the markets. I needed to attune to the Aetheryte. Alright, so... Do I want to continue the tour? I think we'll continue the tour, and then once we're done the tour of the city, that we will head over to, or back to ISHGARD to do the Dark Knight quest. Alright. We've arrived in the largest shopping district in Kugane, Kugane Dori. Kugane, as you're doubtless unaware, is ancient Hingan for is an ancient Hingan word for gold. So, in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes, or Kugane, are earned by the local merchants. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh-ho, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure it is to meet a young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company. You are with clients today? Why, if it isn't Master Kaiten. Pray allow me to introduce you to my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Kugane Dori. Your sincerity is ever appreciated. As he says, I am Kaiten of the Hakuchi clan, and it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we receive many foreign visitors in Kugane, we accept all manner of currencies. Rest assured, your Eorzean Guild are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Alright, is this the shopping area? Alright, arms, armor, foodstuffs, potables. Here you'll find all of them and more. Oh, and there's also Ethernet shards here. I want to get attuned to those as well. Alright, if we may pause here for a moment. This road leads to the Ijingai, the district in which Ijin, or foreigners, are permitted to reside. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of a certain empire? Precisely. So you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of our Garlean cousins here. With this in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations after all, such spats being strictly forbidden. The Seki Segumi punish breaches of the peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation, though to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. What? Cut down then and there? You're joking, right? Would that I were, but alas, these samurai are a humorless lot. Well, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant in his cups dared lay hands upon a Hingan aristocrat in front of a Seki Segumi. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that. So as you see, it would behoove you to behave. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another, or you with yourselves, in the manner of the late Teleji Adeleji. Apparently he found that quite amusing. Oh, how I amuse myself, but we must carry on. I have yet to show you the Garlean consulate. Alright, we have another shard over here. Alright, this, as you may have surmised, is a consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate. Are the uniforms not different from those you have seen in the West? Were you to travel far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs, all of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artisans. Alright. We don't need any of that. Alright. There is oh so much more I could speak of. The soothing waters of the onsen, the ephemeral delights of the pleasure district, but you are doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. Okay, so... yeah, there's the company offices, but I think this is where we're going to break off for the time being. And we've been going for a little while here. I was planning on doing that Dark Knight quest today, but I wasn't expecting the dungeon to be so quick to get started. So what I think we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead, we're actually going to end the episode. And when we come back next episode, we'll start with our Dark Knight quest. And... yeah, you know what? No, let's go at least get it started. Let's go get it started and let's see what we're going to have to do. So I don't want to go too much further without getting that done. Alright, we need to go to Foundation. Hopefully it's relatively quick. Alright, let's talk to Frey, and let's get this started and see what it is we're going to have to do. I've got the time. So we can run a little bit long here. We're already a bit long, but we can run even longer. Alright, because we're going to get the Blood Price ability. Restores partial MP when damage is taken. Right. Alright, I had a feeling you'd come by tonight, Ayame. And sure enough, there you are, eager to pick up where we left off. Let's start with a question then. You must be burning with several after that last affair. What was that voice I heard? Ah, yes, the voice. The one you heard when you first touched the crystal. An excellent question, but a difficult one to answer. Some say it is a beacon guiding the Dark Knight to her true calling. Whose is it, you ask? Only you can discover that, for each knight must hearken to a different voice. As you grow more accustomed to drawing upon your dark side, you will come to hear it more clearly. Communion will hasten this process, but we dare not conduct the rites here under the watchful eye of the Holy See. We will make for southern THANALAN, for Little Alamigo. Alright then. We'll head there. From the snow to the desert. Alright, punctual as ever I see. Communion, lest you worry, is rather simple. It is a ritual in which one nurtures the darkness within, so that she may channel it more effectively in battle. Do not, however, presume the risks to be any less than before. Should you partake of it in excess, you will die. Or worse. So before we begin, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to kill something for me. Something feral, something fearsome, which will push you to your limits. I want to see you thrive in that moment. That way I will know you are ready. Ask Gundabald. He should know of a suitable creature. Alright, let's go ask Gundabald. Pleasure to see you again, Ayame. Do you require assistance? Training? Well, if you seek dangerous beasts for that purpose, then the Red Labyrinth is home to peists notorious for their size and vigor. Our trappers take great pains to avoid their nests and those who do not bear scars for their folly. I pity the man who dies without scars, but these peists sound promising. Tell me more. They've attacked caravans loaded with aldegoat carcasses before. The smell drives them into a frenzy. This should serve to draw them out of hiding. Yummy, I'll always be grateful for what you did. Those young ones were on the verge of making a terrible mistake, so consumed with anger were they. I hesitated to act, even though I saw it burning within them, as I see it burning within you now. You seek the darkness within? I'll not claim to understand your meaning, but I wish you well in your training. Let's go. Okay. We need to speak with Frey in the Red Labyrinth, which is just south of here. Alright. Ah, they're close. I can feel their eyes upon us. Well, we're here now. We're here, so show me who you are, Ayame. Show me what you can do. I'm waiting. Okay. Let's place the aldegoat meat that we got from Gundabald. And let's wait for a peist to show up. And then we'll kill it. There we are. Alright. Piece of cake. Alright, that wasn't so hard, now was it? To mete out justice, to protect the weak from the strong, and so forth, you yourself must be strong. Strength is pain, strength is suffering, strength is sacrifice. We must prepare for communion, but not here. Come, before more priests are drawn by the smell. Okay. Oh, it's the Sabo tenders out here. Oh, there he is. Alright, you look ready? Good. Now listen well. Close your eyes and hold out your hand towards me. Breathe deep through your nose. Let the air fill your lungs. Then let it pass from your lips. Slower, slower. Listen to my voice. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen for the other. Right, with every breath, you grow lighter and slip further into the abyss. Right, one foot in front of the other, over and over again. To the ends of the world and back again. And if time has no end, still forward and onward, over and over again. So, what did you hear? Interesting, but not terribly informative. But do not lose heart, that you are able to hear it once more is progress enough. I believe you will come to understand its words and its will in due time. I should mention that, in some instances, the voice is said to be that of another, one whom the Dark Knight is fated to seek out. If that is the case, you may have a long journey ahead of you. So you would welcome such a journey. There is something to be said for it, and for travel, for that matter, to roam free and help those in need. Yet no good deed goes unpunished, does it? I knew a woman once, wanted to be a hero, to do great things, and so she did. The songs always end there, but life doesn't, does it? There are temptations more deadly than the dark side, Ayame. You should have learned this by now, but you haven't. You will. The communion is ended, and with it our time together, but we shall meet again as we did before. Alright. Quest complete. Got my extra ability. Now, by the time we do next episode, I may be level 40 and have another one of those quests to do. But, we'll see. Alright, so we're at the end of the episode now. We will see what we're going to do next episode, if I have another Dark Knight quest to do. If not, we're going to go ahead, head back to Kugane, and continue on with the main story. Alright, but for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.